Dobar dan. Moje ime je Žorž, radim za Internet Society globalni, dolazim sa iz Slovenije. Jer imamo neke strane goste, ću napraviti na engleski. So I will switch to English because we have our esteemed guests from abroad. All right. So who in this room is operator, network operator? Hands up. Okay. Who is deploying IPv6? Wow. Excellent. And who in this room is a content provider that is offering any kind of content on the internet? Website, shop? Yeah? Okay. So how do you know how your content is seen from different types of networks and different types of environments? Do you have a tool? You don't, right? Okay. So I'm here to talk to you about Net64 check tool, about version 2. I need to apologize in advance. We thought that this tool would be up and running and ready a couple of months ago, but then the developers of the front end discovers a bug in the back end, and then the bug in the back end is fixed, and then this then reveals a lot more bugs in the front end, and then front end bugs are fixed, and then this reveals more bugs in the back end. So we thought it would be up and running today, but we didn't make it. We also got one instance that was donated by ISOC. Thank you, Krajko and Perke. It is up and running, but it's not available yet because we still need to do things. Okay, what am I talking about here? Okay, so people is deploying IPv6 around the world. There is currently 25% of traffic to all Google services and content comes over IPv6. This is becoming a reality. It's not like we used to think about IPv6, that this is some sort of academic thing that nobody is deploying. No. In global traffic, quarter of traffic to Google comes over IPv6. And actually, big companies like Google and Facebook, what they are actually doing today is they are removing IPv4 from their data centers, because maintaining two protocols is way too expensive. So they leave IPv6 in their data centers, and they put IPv4 on the edge of the data center. So if you reach Google or Facebook over IPv4, it gets translated to IPv6, and then it reaches the servers in their data center. It comes back, gets translated back to IPv4, and this is usually, they say, it's 30 to 40% slower than over IPv6. So if you deploy IPv6 and give IPv6 to your users, these services would work 30 to 40% faster than over IPv4. So there is a big incentive for the operators to deploy IPv6 these days. And they are doing it. We have eyeballs, right? So with deployment, you know, not everybody is perfect. Not everybody is 100% accurate all the time. There are errors. There are misconfigurations. There are misunderstandings how IPv6 works. And because we have seen this, we decided to build a tool. For example, there is people that actually puts up a web server on IPv6 and then puts in the DNS some crazy stuff, like this. Can you imagine? People actually, there is a measurement. People actually put in column as a quad A record, like the whole internet. Well done. Or column 1. Who knows who is column 1 in IPv6? It's a local host. So if you put a quad A record that is pointing to column 1, you will see yourself, not the website that you are intended to see. And people does that stuff. We have seen we have seen in our measurements, people put in column, FFF and something. This is not going to work. Or this one, this is a link local. Or this one, this is a well-known net64 address. Or this one. Don't tell me that this person did not do a copy-paste from a documentation, because this is a documentation prefix, right? So if you deploy IPv6 for your web server and put something out of this, your web services will not work anymore, at least not for people that are in IPv6 only environments or net64 environments. In US, for example, I believe T-Mobile USA currently has around 100 million of devices like this. I don't have it with me. Android phones or iPhones. There's 100 million phones in US that are on IPv6 only. They don't have IPv4 address. For them to reach the IPv4 content, they need to go through a translation mechanism called net64. And if you put something like this in a DNS, these people will not have any possible way how to reach your content, because they can't use IPv4, they don't have it. Net64 works in a specific way. It actually synthesizes the quad A record to push it to the translation device. If you do something like this, net64 people will not see your content. And you know, I work for ISOC. I work for Internet Society. I'm traveling all around the world talking to big, huge operators. And what I saw as a pattern in the problems that they have, especially mobile operators, right, is that actually they're asking, if we deploy IPv6 only on mobile phones, how will our customers see the internet? What would be the user experience? We said, okay. And basically the ask was, Jan, do you have a tool or sort of like a procedure how we test all these things so we know that the user experience will still be there if we deploy IPv6 only on mobile phones? So I said, okay, let's build a tool. You know, I'm not coming from academia side of the world. I'm coming from operational side of the world. I spent running parts of the internet for more than 20 years now. And I am a pragmatic person. I like building stuff that is useful also for others. So we built a tool. I wrote some bash scripts and a little bit of Perl. And that was awful. That was completely awful. But I showed it to Sander. So Sander Stefan is my partner in crime. I showed the first version to Sander, and he was like, okay, I see what this is supposed to do. I think this is really cool. But after looking at your code, sir, step back from the keyboard, please, and keep your hands visible. Okay, all right. I said, okay, now delete the code. And I deleted the code in front of him because, you know, that's a lethal weapon if you would see that code. It was unbearable. So, but I got Sander. He is a programmer. He is a real programmer, not like me. I'm a networker. I got Sander to actually work on the code, and he put it in Python, and he actually did the first version of net64 check tool. And Corinne, his lovely girlfriend, she designed the web interface. Because as you can imagine, two techies like Sander and me, we would leave it with you know, white page and the Times New Roman font, and you know how that works, right? I would not go in there. And this was sort of like the first version. You put in simply. It's a very simple tool. You will see the URL later. You put in your URL from a web server, you press the green button, and then you wait. take the time, and then you have the mirror. How your content is seen from three different networks: IPv4 only, IPv6 only, and Net64 environment. And then, for example, those three machines sends back the image that is rendered, and then the tool actually compares the images of the website that were fetched from three different environments. In this case, this is gov.si, this is our government. They're doing a good job, you see. They deployed IPv6. They have IPv4, and through NAT64, everything works fine. This means they did not put in any literal addresses, they did not do anything crazy. And if the result is like this, 100%, then you're all set. Everybody from every possible environment will see your content as they should. This one, okay, textfile.com. IPv6 only, it's not available because it was not implemented, but at least through Net64, the content is seen as it should be seen. So these people will also not have problems in immediate time frame. They should deploy IPv6, right? That's for sure. But currently, also people from IPv6 only environments and Net64 can see their content. And then we have the ugly. This is still the mirror. Foxnews.com. You see? IPv6 only broken and Net64 broken. Why? Currently we don't know. We should see the rest of the screen. There is more debugging information, and usually if you go in there, you can figure out why this happened. Maybe so there are cases where people put a valid IPv6 address in quad A record, and they put an IPv6 address on the server, and you can ping the server over IPv6, but then they forget to add to Apache or Nginx or whichever web server you're running to actually listen on IPv6. We have seen this stuff. This is not uncommon. And then you see from this tool, okay, you have an IPv6 address, it's pingable, but nothing is listening there to serve the content. So, and people actually used the tool. But then we figured out that we need some change of seasons. There were flaws. Unclear what the failure is. Okay, Sander and I could figure out what the issues were because we knew the tool, we built it, we designed it, and I had no issues with the tool. But people that were less proficient in IPv6 or less proficient in the tool, it was not exactly clear what the problem is. Is it a path MTU discovery issue? Is it that web server is not listening? Is it, I don't know. There are multiple possible issues that can happen with your content. There was bad error detection. I could figure out from the ping times for path MTU discovery, and there were two different systems. One was running in Sander's lab in Netherlands. One was running in go6lab.si. Before joining ISOC, I was the CEO of Go6, the IPv6 not-for-profit organization from Slovenia. And I'm still a CEO. And we are running a IPv6 lab. It's a lab with 3 racks of equipment, different equipment, where we are testing IPv6. And this instance was also hosted in go6.si. But there was no coordination between these two. In 1 year of running this tool, I believe we got 1.9 million measurements. Actually, that means that 1.9 million people actually came in and wrote in the URL and pressed the button. And the machines were testing and giving them back the results. Still online. If you go to net64check.go6lab.si, you can still do the measurement in version 1. but soon you will be able to. The version 2. Okay? What did he figure out for the version 2? It's a little bit of a systematic chaos. It's a distributed system. Before, remember, there were 2 machines, 2 instances, one in Netherlands, one in Slovenia. Now we have central web interface, just one machine that is talking to every instance around the world. We are trying to actually talk people into donating or volunteering to run a VM and give a VM to us, so we can send the Ansible friends to install all the things and put it up and running, like we did with the first Serbian instance. What we need from you is a VM with Ubuntu, preferably 18.04, IPv6 address, IPv4 address, and rooted /64 prefix to the machine, so we can use multiple IPv6 addresses in the workers. It's easy to install if you want to run your own test system, but I would encourage you, if you want to help this project, and if you would like to make the platform bigger, then that you include your instance in the main system. The more vantage points we have, the better we can do the measurement, and better we can tell people how their content is seen from also different parts of the world.
How many vantage points do you have now?
Currently, it's not running yet. Yeah, we have 3 now, but it's still in test. So if you're interested in this stuff, send me an email later. You had the email address at the beginning of this PowerPoint. We are looking into extending it across the world. We would like to have instances on every part of the world, if possible. And since we built a platform, we can add more tests. We will have some tests now, like for content, like for things like this. But then we can add tests, like, for example, checking if that website is serving SSL certificate, if the SSL certificate is the same on IPv4 and IPv6. Also other things. And one good thing is also that we built in a multi-tenant system. So you can request your username and password, you log in, and then you can do your own measurements. And if you put in, for example, your URL, it will be monitored. Like every day, it will do the test, and if you broke something, you will receive an email saying, hey, your content is not seen as it was before. What did you do? Right? All right. Illumination theory. How does this work? As you can see, we are big fans of the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. So we have Zephod. He's the president of the Galaxy. That's the main machine. It will be run in Netherlands by Sander. And this is where all things happen. You connect over the website. If you want to do the test, you connect to Zephod. And then when you put in your URL to be tested, this main machine sends the command to instances. For example, the first one is in Go6 Lab. And here we have Trillion. That's a sensible coordinator. That's a process that is actually receiving commands from Zephod and is running Marvins. Marvins are the workers, little paranoid androids. And these are actually the processes that talks to the internet and fetches your website through a command line web browser. And actually talks back to Trillion that is sending back the results to Zephod when they get additionally processed. And as many instances of this as we can have, the better it is. Okay? So, We also have then country selection. You can, when you test your URL, when you test your content, you can say all locations, select all. So it would attack your web servers with the fetch from every location that we have. Or you can say just from Serbia, or just from Slovenia, or just from here and there. So yeah, it's quite astonishing how you can actually expand all across the world with this stuff. Then you have, in this version, you have better feedback while testing, because before, in version 1, it was just saying testing, 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 and you were just looking at that running wheel and waiting for the result. Here, it is telling you, it's running the strict test, it's doing the image matching, it's doing the resource matching. It is actually telling you what it is doing, because this process may take even a minute, because sometimes if things are not accessible over IPv6 or Net64, then there are timeouts that the web browsers needs to wait for and then report back not found or not accessible. So it is not a very fast process. So here it keeps you entertained, actually. So you can wait. And then we also have a clear summary. So on the first page, you will just see the summary, if it's good or bad. And then if you go further into all locations, you can see more specifically how your content was seen from different parts of the world. Okay, so see, then here you can sign up for an account. You can download the report data, and it also tells you a little bit more descriptively what is wrong with your IPv6 or Net64 implementation. And this tool is also good for mobile operators, because if you deploy IPv6 only on mobile, that more and more operators are these days doing, if somebody calls you and says, oh, I cannot access this and this and this website, then you can go put this website in the tool, and it will clearly explain to you what kind of stupid things the content provider did, so your user cannot access his site. And you can explain to user, and then you can also send an email to the website saying, look, this is the measurement, this is what's broken, can you please fix it, because our users cannot access your website. All right. Then you also have a detailed view, as I already explained, as you see here. This is a true looking glass. In IPv4, Net64, it was okay. Here are actually the pictures that are being processed, and in IPv6 there was nothing. So here you can clearly see what is wrong, and it tells you what the cause is. As I already mentioned, you can also get the alerts if you log in, if you request a username and password. You can also get the alerts, and you go like, if your network operators, if your networking people manage to break the IPv6 implementation, or if your server people manage to break the configuration, then you will clearly see and get the warning, hey, something is wrong. We are also putting in some more additional IPv6 knowledge in there, some frequently asked questions, some more information. There is the whole train of thought on IPv6 going on here when it will be available. I have the dev preview URL, but I'm not telling you which one it is. So, some images and words, credits and blame. Project chaser was Kevin Maynell, and I became also a project chaser because I was chasing Sander Sander, can we have this up and running for RSNOG? And he was telling me yes, but unfortunately it's not yet, any day now. Yeah, we did a technical design, and there was the whole group of people for version 2 doing the programming for the front end, from the back end. It was not sort of like 2 people volunteering work after hours during the night instead of sleeping, but this version was more organized. And that's why it took much longer. Yeah, sorry to Kevin. I think we are 11 months behind. We're working hard on version 2. We need to wait for another day or 2. And as I said, the back end is up and running, the front end is being debugged. Sorry for the delay, but anytime soon now. Until then, you can check your websites in the version 1. And I would like to thank ISOC, Internet Society. They sponsored the developing this time. They actually put in some funding for Sander and Max.nl to actually build the whole stuff in a professional way. And with that, I think this is all I had to say. So, are there any questions?
Of course. Slide 17, please.
Oh boy.
What is the little picture? What's in there?
What is in the picture, please?
There.
Is it an airplane?
Yeah. Okay. So these are little Easter eggs, because both Sander and I. Okay, this is the first time I'm explaining this for this and for previous versions of the presentations. We're big fans of a band called Dream Theater. That's why I'm wearing this T-shirt every time I present this. And if you can see, there are some weird things in the slide, like a dramatic turn of events that are actually emphasizing what is in the slide. For example, Looking Glass here, you see scenes from a memory, Octavarium, and then we have Systematic Chaos, Change of Seasons, The Mirror, or, for example, Falling into Infinity, or, for example, the background. So this is the problem statement, and we felt that we would like to walk you through all 6 degrees of our inner turbulence. But these are all names of the songs or albums from 25 years of Dream Theater. So this was sort of like an Easter egg. But I'm amused that you noticed these little things. Thank you.
Okay.
Pitanja? Thank you, Jan.